Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at UNFI or Unifi, seeing what's going on. I get tons of requests for this coin daily, so we'll just go ahead and review this one here for you. And got some good news actually. It's actually looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit, at least good news for those who are trying to short. Because again, I know a lot of folks trying to catch the top. We're going to see if we can identify that, but key takeaway here is that we got couple of rising wedge patterns, and these are typically bearish signs, even though it nice and green, kind of expect the price to continue higher because of it. Truth is, it gets overextended, it starts creating higher highs and higher lows. Typically, it's very concurrent with Elliott wave theory, where you have an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern followed by an ABC. So what we can see here is a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then usually it washes itself out afterwards. Okay, so we got a higher high, higher low, still waiting on a higher high. And once that's been identified, we probably expect the price to continue lower from there. Okay, so again, I think this coin is getting closer to its top, but we want to look at some larger time frame stuff and see what's really going on here. Okay, and we're also going to take a look at some liquidity levels too, make sure we identify that as well. So just know if you're new to this channel, not a financial advisor, love to teach people to trade. Quick congratulations to some of our premium members here. Nice profits there from our Bell trade there. 62% in 8 days. That's not too shabby. If you want to become part of something bigger and better, jump on over to our Discord here. We got a lot of cool educational content. Pretty much every single thing that I offer is available on our Discord. Roughly the same thing for Twitter and Telegram as well, if you prefer that. That's just more of a medium to kind of get some instant news updates and stuff, which I still have. It's always available here for you, but generally speaking, these are good resources for you, and that's what it's there for. So check that out. Thanks again to everyone who's given me some wonderful positive feedback. Thanks again for letting me know that. Okay, so let's talk about the daily and work our way down, right? We'll get right back to this double top pattern, or more importantly, it's a double top in the making, but it's basically two rising wedge patterns there back to back. So what we want to look at here on the daily first and foremost is overextension, see if we're getting close to that. We did hit a 9 here recently. We're potentially going to reset here, but we are in overtime. So for lack of better terms, we've literally had 9 plus 1 days of bullish momentum. Now I know what you're thinking, these 2 days are not bullish at all, right? But they're still higher than the 4th previous, and that's why it continues to count upwards, okay? So we are overextended, okay? Now, if you look at the last time it's overextended itself, it hit a 9 previously. Price went sideways for a few days, down, and then legged up. Okay, so there's no guarantees the price is going to drop like a rock. I wouldn't expect that. I would anticipate or expect some previous week closes to possibly get retested. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about that just really quick here, because I think it's important to recognize there are some key levels here we want to identify. First of all, there is a resistance area here where the price action hit roughly 1128 and couldn't pass any further. In fact, let's go up just a little bit there. Looks like 1130. Right around 1130 is a close approximate. Okay, so we see 1130 as a potential resistance area there. So the price action comes up, we could very well see it hit that level. Okay, we also need to recognize too that this most recent weekly close here, right there at about 922, is a potential support level as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that here as well. Just kind of note that that is an important factor. Okay, so that way when we're looking at the daily, we can kind of see that this 1 week close is a potential area in which the price will likely gravitate towards. Okay, so what we could see is a liquidity sweep up here, closer to 1150, and then a price pull back to about 925. That would be a common characteristic just based on the simple fact that previous resistances are turned supports. Now that we have that 925 as a confirmed support level based on the weekly close, we can verify that the price action could continue lower. We also want to recognize too the weekly high as well. 9.8 could be another support or resistance level. Either way, the price looks like it's trying to run right now. Let's take a look at some simple moving averages and kind of identify that this is an ascending trend. Okay, again, betting against the ascending trend is never the greatest idea. So just keep in mind the price is going up. There's no reason for it to turn around. We've got all sorts of positivity there. RSI is still extremely overextended. Big surprise with us being overextended on the TD sequential side of things, basically 9 plus 1 days of extreme continuation to the upside. It's going to have to pull back eventually. Okay. Now again, you just got to keep in mind, pullback may not be all that massive. We might have already seen our pullback here with yesterday's lower wick, essentially down to 780, right, roughly the 780 range. Okay. So keep in mind, truly bullish in this scenario here, but becoming overextended. Taking a look at the 4 hour. Similar scenario, we could have another 12 more hours of continuation here to the upside, another 3 more 4 hour candles essentially. But the bottom line here is that we wicked up to this level and we're testing it right now. So this is essentially a double top where we're seeing the price action hit that level twice. Could come down from here, but for lack of better terms, we're definitely seeing some interesting behavior, right? So double top forming right now. So what does that mean for us? Well, is that bearish? I wouldn't say exactly, because we are still making higher lows, higher highs. We are above all moving averages. This ascending trend is still working positively. And then if we take a look at the confirming factors here, we just converged on the MACD as well, and we're retesting 70 on the RSI. So if we break through 70 on the RSI, it's going to stay up there for some time. So shorting right now at the very, very top may seem like a good idea, but it's probably not, because of, again, mainly because there's liquidity that needs to be swept, but also that rising wedge pattern tells me that we're more likely to decrease in value here in the relative near future, but it will probably break through that resistance level first and sweep a bunch of liquidity before that happens. In other words, it's very common for the price action to retest this most recent high, come back up, and then come down after it's swept a lot of liquidity up here. Okay, so again, keep in mind we got a resistance level roughly at about 1130. That would be a better place to short than it would be right now. Now again, the price could drop fast right now and you missed out on your short opportunity. That can happen. But it's better to miss out on a good opportunity than to be in a situation where you miss out on something better. In other words, I would recommend being patient. This coin has a tendency of wrecking faces and melting a lot of portfolios. Okay, so just please keep that in mind. If we take a look at the volume too, let's go ahead and double check here. We can see volume is starting to increase above that moving average there. Okay, so as volume starts to increase, we got to recognize, you got to give some respect there and kind of wait for the price to confirm itself. Speaking of which, let's double check a couple of factors here as well. In the most recent past here, we can see that the volume, we have the second most amount of volume at 780, but the most amount is 520. We already know that. I doubt the price will go down that low in the immediate future, but just know that's key level support. But for right now, if we close today above 930, I would expect the price to continue higher. If we close below that level, I would say lower would make more sense. Okay, but again, we're establishing higher highs and higher lows here consistently. There's no reason to bet against this guy. Same thing with the hourly. Let's take a quick look here once more and just double check again. We see this candlestick pattern here, double top plus rising wedge. These are two indications letting us know the price could pull back soon. Okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if once we sweep this liquidity, the price action wicks up one more time and comes back down. We will see, of course, here soon what happens. But for lack of better terms, it doesn't look like it's done running, but I would acknowledge the fact that it does look like we're getting closer to the top. So I'd say between 10 and 11.5 would be decent shorting opportunities for this coin. We may be at the top right now. I mean, we do have a double top right now printing, as well as a rising wedge. Those are typically bearish signs. So do what you will with this, but I personally try to avoid coins like this. I've gotten bit by this coin already, and I'd rather just kind of hesitate and wait, honestly. We've got a few other good trades open right now. We took some profits overnight last night with our bell trade. So again, we're not in bad shape. Just be patient, wait for the right opportunity if you can. And my speculation though is we will see one more leg up to retest this weekly high, this previous weekly high, and then come back down. That would be a better short than it would be right here. But again, you never truly know. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? So I hope this made sense and I described this correctly for you. Like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you'd like to kind of be part of something better. And I greatly appreciate all your help. Thanks again for a wonderful time. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.